figure out how to do this live thing, so bear with me. I think some of you are on the scheduled live, so let me know if you can switch over. I can try and text y'all on my desktop. So hold on one second. Oh, I bet I can share this with them. Let me see. So hold on one second. Y'all. Oh, wait, someone's there. Hello. I thought I could go into the scheduled chat or the scheduled video, but for some reason, I could not do that. So let me see what we can do. If I can find, oh, there's my live. I can find a way. What we can do. Oh, there's my live. Okay, so yay. Hey, Marianne. Awesome. I can actually see some chat now, so that is great. And I don't know, I'm just trying this out. So it's my first time. Hey, LZK, welcome. Hello, precious people. So yeah, I just wanted to hang out with y'all today and give this whole YouTube live a try. And so I'm working out the bugs. You guys are my guinea pigs. It'll be good. So let's see what else is going on this morning. It's Monday. What do you guys have planned today? Tell me what you are working on. Are you going to do some art today, or maybe some laundry? I don't know. I've got laundry going. I've got dishes in the sink. But you know what? I kind of want to start doing some art today, a little painting. Someone said to paint this kind of strange creature, so I don't know. Maybe I'll try and do that. Getting ready to go on a trip. Yes. It's always fun. And I'm a last minute packer. I don't pack until like the night before or the morning of, depending on what time my trip is leaving, my plane or whatever. What else is going on today? Oh, so what are some of the things that help motivate me? So let's talk about that. Because sometimes we can get a little bit down and not want to do anything, and we're afraid to start something new, or maybe we just don't feel like we're good enough to do something. So with me in watercolor, I know when I first started trying to do watercolors, it was not easy. I took a class and they were very, I don't know, they just wanted me to work on a large piece of, watercolor paper, and I was just overwhelmed by that. So for my classes, what I like to do is just show them what they can do on something small scale, like making a card. So what I want to try and do with you guys is, if I can change my camera, hold on, well, I'll move you around and see if we can get a picture of, hold on a second. There we go. My desk. So this is always fun to see an artist's desk, I guess, because, it can be. Are we still right side up, people? Yes, we are. That's good to know. Okay. So yeah, we don't need to keep looking at me. Okay, so yesterday I had a class in person, and we had about 7 people, and we painted dragonflies. And those are really fun little watercolors to do. This one I used a stamp, and this one I drew. And they were kind of, they were fun to experiment with, I believe. Right, Marianne? I know you were at my class, and you did really good with your paintings, so I was super impressed. And if you're not good at drawing, you can always use a stamp set. So here's the stamp that I like to use, and this one's really pretty. I might have used the other one before, but that's okay. And if you don't know how stamps work, basically you need an acrylic block, and here's a stamp that just fits right on there and it sticks. And this is called Tip Top Taupe. I have no idea if it's still current. Let's see. So I'm just going to practice on this watercolor paper right here. We're just going to stamp a few. And I'll get some other stuff. And this is super fun. I love stamping. There you go. So. Well, it can be a little easier if like you're not trying to get details. But I know, Marianne, you like detailed painting. You like to see all the details in your painting. So yeah, it can be frustrating when the paint doesn't do what you want it to do. But hopefully, with practice, you'll learn to be able to just do a couple loose strokes and then see what happens. Sometimes it's about practicing it and not being afraid of it. Of course, isn't that the truth? Don't we always feel afraid to do things that we're not familiar with? And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I stopped watercoloring, was because I failed at it the first time. And I didn't enjoy it at all. And I thought everything I did was the opposite of what I wanted it to look like. So yeah, I was very unhappy with that. But luckily, my sister encouraged me to paint her a mermaid. And what happened was I took my daughter's paint set. So this was from Hobby Lobby. It's just like, I think 24 colors, and they're just super inexpensive, a great starter kit. They're pan paints. I already sprayed this with some watercolor to re-wet it, and I did replace the black that was in here with Payne's Gray. So you can buy tube paints, you can buy, let's see what I got in here. I have like this little container that I keep my tube paints in there. So yeah, if you can afford it, go ahead and buy yourself some nice tube paints, and you can fill a blank palette and be able to customize what paints you want, what colors you want. But this one I like a lot, and so as the colors get depleted, I just refill them with a tube paint that's like more professional grade. Let's see. So we're gonna start, let's do a green. So I think you guys can kind of see how I'm mixing. And so I'm using this green, and I think I'm gonna add a little turquoise blue in there. That'll be super pretty. All right. But yeah, if I had quit, well, I did actually quit doing watercolor after that class I took. It was so horrible that I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. And I put all the stuff away and never touched it again. And so yeah, that was what I did for a long time. Didn't touch watercolor again. But then I do follow a few YouTube artists. One of my favorites is Paul Clark. So if you haven't heard of him, go visit his page. He's got a lot of videos on there explaining how to do all this stuff better than me. But he's basically who taught me how to do it, because it was definitely easier when you have a video and you can rewind and do a lot of things. So hopefully I'll be able to post this video on my YouTube channel, and you can all watch it at a later date if you can't watch the whole thing right now. So right now I got that color. It's really pretty. maybe a kind of a blue color now. That would be really pretty with some purpley undertones. And sometimes you just start right in that center area. You just fill that up. And I kind of like the wet on dry technique. So the paper's dry, the paint is wet. And I can show you a couple other techniques. Now I'm going to add that purple in there, and it's just going to bleed into those. And I like that. And it's a lot of water in there, but I'll show you how you can fix that. And see how easy it is to lift that out. And make those nice and airy looking. Well, they're already turning out pretty. Okay. Oh, thank you, Marianne. Sometimes I feel like when I'm in person with 7 people, it's hard to give y'all one-on-one instruction, but hopefully what I tell you guys in class is easy to understand. Well, I'm glad you keep coming to my classes too, because like you said yesterday, and it really warmed my heart, is that even if you're frustrated with how it's turning out, you learn a lot from doing it. And that's what I would have to say helps me a lot, is just to keep trying. Like this whole YouTube live thing, this is my very first YouTube live, and I don't even know how to do it really. I had scheduled one and thought it would be easy to just click on it and start going live, but then it wouldn't let me go live on that, so I just started a new live. But we'll figure these things out as we go along. Maybe in a year from now, I'll be doing split screens, and you'll be able to see my face and my painting on the other. That's going to be super. That's my goal someday. Maybe even do some, I don't know, some like other stuff with other people, like collaborations. That would be so cool. Let's see, what else do we want to put? This purple, maybe some yellow, because yellow and purple are complementary colors. So they're one of those things that goes really big pop when you put them next to each other. And see, my purple kind of already dried, and it's making that real hard edge right there. But sometimes re-wetting it can help soften that edge. And I don't get too worried if it's not perfect, because nothing really is perfect. But and you'll see, like, you can add details after the wings dry that'll make them look really pretty and give it more definition. My camera should be closer to the paper. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't know if that's good. How's that? And I see there's probably a glare on there, but that's from the water. So yeah, is that better, Marianne? I'm thinking I can see it a little bit better, and I'm watching it on my laptop to see what it looks like. But yeah, I can tell right here is some reflection from the light. So I'm not really sure how to stop that, but another thing that I think holds people back from trying new things like watercoloring is they're afraid to waste their materials or supplies. So like this is, this paper is actually, I'll tell you the brand, if you can see this. It's Canson Watercolor Extra Large Cold Press. And it is 140 pound. This is a fairly inexpensive It's inexpensive watercolor paper, and I can't remember the price, but you can get this anywhere. Walmart, Hobby Lobby, I don't know, maybe Walmart. But you get 30 sheets, and what I end up doing is I will cut it down with one of my paper cutters that I sell from Stampin' Up, and so I can make smaller sized paintings. And I find that these sell really good at craft shows when I set up to do a craft show in the local area that I'm at. You can turn them into greeting cards and send them to your friends and family. So this is less intimidating when you have a smaller size piece of watercolor paper. Normally I take this to a board so I can tilt it and stuff, but today I'm just kind of doing these right here. And I don't know if you can see this on the on the screen, but it's kind of bleeding out past the lines. And you might be like, oh, that's all messed up then. No, you just kind of blend it out. And you can lift it up with a paper towel or anything really. So this is kind of just kind of fun. So hopefully you can see that. But yeah, so you can start with less expensive paper. You can start with less expensive paint. So like this was on sale. I think it was less than $10 at Hobby Lobby. And although this is a very expensive paintbrush, you do not need to start with expensive paintbrushes. You can start. Oh, sorry, my frog in my throat. I think I have like a set of these. There's one more that came in the set. I'm not sure where it is. But this set was from Michael's, and look at how big this one is. So like a lot of people can't really use something, and this is a size 14, I think, where this is like a size 8, I believe. So you see this, the difference in size. You're gonna be able to get more control with the smaller one. But from watching Paul Clark, he says to use the biggest brush that you feel comfortable with. So like, check out this. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this and just gonna paint. I'm gonna pretend that's like the body of a dragonfly right there. And then I can make some yellow for the wings. And so that's that big brush. And then with this smaller one, kind of doing the same thing. Let's see what happens. And then take a little bit of yellow. Definitely holds the color more. And I think that's what you said, right, Marianne? Whoa, all this, I can't read all this that fast. I'm a slow reader. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I like to see, the water, and I like to kind of show in my pan how I'm mixing colors. So there's a couple videos on my website, on my YouTube channel that show exactly how I go about mixing the colors. The last one with the car, that was like pretty in-depth, but again, it had reflections on it from the lights above, which I don't know how I'm gonna stop that from happening, to be honest. We'll have to figure that one out. So like right now, I would say this is the ugly stage of my dragonflies. So I don't know if you can see this, if it's all shiny or not. Just when the light is shining on it. I don't know if I can change that lighting. Let me see what I can do. I mean, if I turn off the light all the way, it's still shiny. We'll have to play with that. So basically, these two brushes, I can tell that this one was better. Plus this one's bigger, so it's harder. But play around with your different brushes. Like I've been looking into getting a dagger brush, which I don't even know if I have anything similar to that. A dagger brush just has this beautiful angle on the bristles. And you can find a lot of different brushes and just play around with them. Try one and see if you like them. So now what I think this big one would be good for is doing backgrounds. So like this one's pretty, this is a dry butterfly, right? Or ladybug. This one's actually dry, this dragonfly. So let's see what happens when I wet all the way around it. And let's see, what color background for this? Since it's green, wouldn't it be kind of cool to put like a reddish orange maybe? Because those are our complementary colors. Maybe this dragonfly is going off into the sunset. We don't know. So just kind of letting that soak in a little bit, and maybe I will add some. Oops. Let's see, a big one is going to make tons of big splotches. And let's say you don't like that. Guess what? I'm going to just wipe those right out. That's what I kind of like about watercolor. And I don't think the instructor I had in person before told me that you could erase basically your mistakes. So that was also frustrating for me to have done like a whole big painting and then like mess up one little spot and be like, oh, it's ruined. No, it's not ruined. You can lift it up. So let me try using one of my smaller brushes to do some splattering. So this one I think is a 6. And you can tell it's a little bit smaller than that one. And again, this is the nice one. It came in a set, and they're travel. And Marianne, you said that they are travel, so you can take them apart and then you store it with the tip down, and it protects it. So that's kind of cool. I like that, and I didn't even know that. Yeah, you're right. Some of the companies, they have different sizing. There's no real standard. I've watched a couple videos where someone will show a size 8 in one company and a size 8 in a different, and they're not the same. So that's why I'm saying just kind of experiment. I like going and seeing them in real life. Hobby Lobby does have quite a big selection. I think Michael's is getting better at having more watercolor supplies. So check them out if you have one near you. So you like how this is, how I'm showing it again? You're gonna try again. Okay, that's what you're saying. Yes, give it a shot, because sometimes the first time we don't get it. Just like I would think learning a new sport, like you might not be able to run fast or jump as high or have the coordination to hit the ball, things like that. And the first try. But if you keep going to your practices and you keep having a coach help you, pretty soon you're going to improve, and who knows, maybe you'll be an NFL star someday if you keep trying. So I think basically with successful, um, being a successful painter, and this is something we talked about, Marianne, was that success is different for everyone. So I feel like your cards that you make are 100% successful because they're beautiful and people love them and you're selling them. I think you sell out faster than you can paint them. So to me, that is success. I used to think that having your artwork in the gallery or a fancy museum was a sign of success. But now I'm more like, you can define your success however you want. All right, let's see what happens when I do some splatters. This is just Payne's Gray, and I like that because I already let the paper dry. I don't know if you can see it. It's real subtle. Yeah, that's it. Lifting it out when it's messed up. Like if there's a spot I don't like, I can lift that out. So it's pretty easy. Now let's see if I can paint a little dragonfly. And you know what's kind of cool? Don't paint the whole thing in. See how I'm leaving some white on the body? That makes it look kind of shiny. And I didn't really get to tell you guys that in class yesterday. So I feel like I might be able to tell you guys more in a video sometimes. It seems a little easier, but so I just painted that little body and look at how it's popping out. Pretty cool. And if I wanted to, I could add some of the little lines for the body if I wanted to. Here and there, just, you know, to give a little definition. Your mind really fills in a lot of this, and you don't have to paint every detail. Now let's say I didn't want it to be super dark, those lines. I could go in with the same color and look at that. I'm just adding some detail. I'm just making up where the little veins go. But I think that added a lot just by doing that. So, I don't know, what else do we want to talk about today? Oh, another thing that probably holds people back. Oh, well, thank you, Marianne. I hope you do try it again. I think you'll do great at it. Again, just practicing is going to help you. But yeah, messing up. Okay, so sometimes when we mess up, it makes us feel like we're not good enough and that we should stop. But like I said earlier, you can really learn a lot from your mistakes and just keep trying and change what you don't like. Keep practicing doing the same things that you do like, how they turned out. So like I had one time where I did a silhouette of a palm tree, and the palm tree I don't know what happened. You know, like the palm leaves, they're kind of like, you know, like this. Like I'm not really doing so great here either. But yeah, they just kind of, the little things go one direction. So I had painted it black on the sunset. I already did the background, and so I was very upset when my leaves or whatever, the palms were not turning out how I liked. And what I ended up doing was basically taking a brush and just wetting the whole thing and dabbing it up. So you wouldn't even known I painted on there now. And I could redo my palm leaves when I was feeling it the next day, because I was not feeling it that night and I kept messing them up and I was very unhappy. So just because you mess up once does not mean you're going to keep messing up. Sometimes you just need to walk away and let a fresh set of eyes happen. Oh, you like how the body of this dragonfly is? And yes, isn't it a blessing to have people who like and buy our art? I am always so grateful when someone loves my art and wants to buy it. And that actually reminds me of a Bible verse that I wanted to share with you. Colossians 1:10 says, "So that you may live a life worthy of the Lord and please Him in every way, bearing fruit in every good work, growing in the knowledge of God." So a lot of times I pray before I paint, especially a commission, because I want it to touch on. Oh, thank you. That looks great. Thanks. Sometimes when I go to paint a commission for someone, it really matters to me. I want it to be something treasured forever. And so I just ask God to come into the painting process and to help me and to guide my hand so that I can create something worthy for selling to someone and to represent their pet or their house. So that's one of those things for me. My faith comes into this a lot. I don't think I could really do any of this without God. He's the one guiding and directing me. But I wanted to show you guys, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick up on this real good or not. Let me see if I can find a good page. So I have started to watercolor in here. This one I like. I like this one. Let me show you this one. So this is in Romans. It says the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace, and that's what we really need. But I like the little pathway, and paper in my Bible is really great for painting on. And you can see it does not go through to the other side. It does kind of make it wrinkly, but I kind of like the texture. So that's kind of cool to touch it and feel it. These are all very... Oh, you want me to do the one on the left too? This one? Let me see if I can. Double that. So those are, yeah, you know, you can always find a way to create art and make it your own and make it beautiful. Let's see. I don't know, how's that look, Marianne? Oh, thank you. Yeah, that really just makes it pop, doesn't it? It looks really good. Hopefully that's not too shiny in that light. Now what I could do is mix that purple back up, which I already had some kind of mixed, and I can add some lines for the veins and the little... And see, because it's like the same color, it's really subtle. And just add a little bit there. Those are kind of cool. And when watercolor dries, it dries a lot lighter. Oops, I got my little smears over there. That's okay. I guess when I go live, I need to turn that off, but, okay. So, what else should I do, Marianne? You're like, helping me get some ideas on what else I can do on this. Do a little bit more on this side. Yep, that looks good. Let's see how our mind kind of fills in the blanks there. It's kind of cool. Let's see. Maybe do this one's body a little bit. Yeah, that makes it really pretty. And then these ones I didn't even draw. I didn't even draw. I just kind of started painting. So that's kind of cool. You can just get creative and not worry about it looking perfect. Because those aren't perfect, that's for sure. I do kind of like the yellow. And then, and also I think about like, how much time do we spend doing things that waste time? Like, I know I scroll a lot on social media and just want to, watch TikToks and stuff, but what I could be doing is practicing dragonflies and perfecting what I'm doing on here instead. And so a lot of times I think people worry about wasting their time with a new hobby, but I don't think that's wasting your time. I think that's enjoying, or at least trying out something that they may not know. The middle left. Oh, this one probably. And I did kind of add a little bit more to his little body. I see, like, he's really getting all blurry there. And I can lift that up, though. But that looks kind of pretty, I think. See, I love when watercolors just kind of go together and start spreading. I kind of like how that looks. Looks really painterly to me. I like how that is. And like the same thing with like doing some splattering. I love doing the splatters. Let's see if I can add some purple splatters. And sometimes when you're playing around with splatters, you gotta see how much water you need to put in there. You may end up putting too much water and then splattering way too much on there. Okay, let's see if I can add some lines onto that. I think the wings might still be a little wet, so it's gonna spread. See? Can you see that? How it's spreading when I touch it? So I'm gonna have to wait for those wings to dry before I add detail like I did on those. And that's one of the things that makes me kind of impatient with watercoloring, is because you have to wait for things to dry before you can add detail on top. And that may be what's kind of holding you back, Marianne, from doing the watercoloring with the the loose style because then you have to wait for everything to dry before you add your details. So I don't know, I think we'll just have to let that dry naturally. I have a hair dryer, or I have a heat tool I can use to dry it up faster. But while we're waiting, I can, do some other things on here, like some grass, maybe some grass. That looks kind of cool. Oh, it's out of the camera. Sorry. And so when you mix your green, if you don't like how it looks straight from the tube, you can add a little red into that color and it'll darken it up a little bit. But I like kind of just doing little flicks. So that looks kind of pretty. And I just have fun. I hope that you enjoy doing that, Marianne, and that it's fun for you. And see, like for this grass, I'll probably wait for it to dry a little bit and then I can add more blades into it. And another thing I didn't show you guys yesterday at class, but what you can do is you can take like some kind of a card and you can scrape. Check that out. Can you see that in the camera? So grasses, you can get real cool with that. You could do that with the details on the wing. You can use a little credit card while it's still kind of wet. I don't know, play around with it and see if you like that technique or not. So that's kind of fun to just scrape it away. I think this is getting dry. But I can add a little bit of detail. Let's see. Oh, it's still kind of wet. I don't know. I need to probably be patient. Not patient. Not patient, Marianne. Yeah, heat gun. We need one of them. I don't know where mine is. Sometimes it's in a bag in my car because I took it to coffee with me. So I don't know. We're going on. How long have I been on? It's been a while. I don't know. 44 minutes. Wow. So I may go ahead and think about signing out and hope that this whole thing went live. At least I know you saw it. I do like the heat gun, but it can push the paint around. So when you're blowing on the on your paper and the water starts pushing, the water in the paint, then it can change how it's going to look. So like if you're patient and you let it dry naturally, it's going to stay put where you painted it and just dry right there instead of being blown over. But that could be part of the the look you might be going for, is to have it look more like a paint pour or something, like I've been seeing that people do. So that might be cool. I don't know, but what do you think? You think my little dragonflies turned out okay? Let's see if I can add any more. Oh, with the purple. Let's see if I can add that purple. That'll give it some lines up there. There we go. That gave it a little bit of detail. But sometimes just having less detail is pretty too. Yep, and I think that's good. For today, for my first live, I think that's good. Let's see if I can talk face to face to you guys one more time. Let's see. Oh, there I am. Hey. Try not to bump this too much. All right, well, I attempted and successfully did a live YouTube. So I'm gonna check that off as success today, even if it wasn't perfect. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this. I will download it so you can watch it later if you weren't here for the live. But I love you guys, and I appreciate you all so much. And I just pray for God to bless each and every one of you.